Hello everyone. In this video, we will try to learn how to make a temperature converter, right? So like if you give Celsius temperature, it will give you Fahrenheit temperature. If you give Fahrenheit, it will give you Celsius and Kelvin too. Okay, so Kelvin to Celsius, Celsius to Kelvin, or Kelvin to Fahrenheit, Fahrenheit to Kelvin. So this kind of stuff we will learn in this video. So first of all, guys, we need to understand what these temperature scales are, right? So we know we have some formulas in our book, but sometimes we don't understand how these formulas came, right? So we will try to explain these things first. Okay, so we will try to uh, solve the problem with a story, right? We will try to relate with these things. Okay, so first of all, imagine just you're you're putting some water in your fridge, right? So you want to make ice. Okay, so whatever temperature needs to make ice, it's 0 degrees Celsius, right? So there is no logic that uh, you can say this is zero, right? So this temperature, uh, zero doesn't mean there is no temperature, right? So if you don't have money, then you can say I have $0, zero money, right? So but in case of temperature, you can't say 0 degree means no temperature, right? Because uh, you know, the molecules of water, water moves even in the 0 degrees Celsius, right? So it's just a number. We just defined this is zero. We defined a number with this. Okay, so if you can make water and ice, uh, okay, so we can say this is 0 degrees Celsius. It's just a number we defined. Okay, so the same thing, the same ice, uh, you can say. So when you make an ice, you say it's you made it by 0 degrees Celsius. But if you say this in Fahrenheit, you will have to say 32 degree Fahrenheit. Okay, so there is no logic that you will say this is 32 or this is 0. The same thing, the same ice is made by 0 degrees Celsius, and in other words you can say is 32 degree Fahrenheit. Okay, so that means for each degree Fahrenheit will be always 32, 32 degree Fahrenheit above, right? You understand? So like your height is 5 feet 6 inch, you can say, and your brother's height may be 6 feet. Okay, so let's say your height is 5 feet and your brother's height is 6 feet. So whatever the ladder you two, if both of your brothers use the same ladder, okay, say, or tool, or whatever you say, whatever height you stand on, your brother will always be 1 foot uh, taller than you, right? So this is what happens in case of Celsius and Fahrenheit, guys, right? Okay, so I'm going to show my screen with you. You see in my screen interval between freezing and boiling points of water: Celsius, 0 degrees Celsius to 100 degree. Okay, so when uh, the water boils, right? So whatever in whatever temperature water boils, we say is 100 degrees Celsius. So there is no logic that you will say this 100 degrees Celsius. It's just 100 division, right? We will divide the 0 degree to 100 division. Okay, so if you consider the same thing with Fahrenheit, Fahrenheit starts from 32 degrees Celsius, 32 degree Fahrenheit. Okay, so uh, so whatever temperature makes ice is 32. There is no logic, but 32. So and in whatever temperature water keeps boiling, right, starts boiling, this temperature is 212. Okay, so there is 180 divisions in Fahrenheit scale. Okay, so for the same thing, uh, the same case is defined 180 times, 180 small divisions in case of Fahrenheit. the same event is divided 100 times only for Celsius scale. So there is a distinct, a proportional difference. Okay, so you can guess this. So let's say if you have 10 bananas and your brother have 18 bananas. So what is the difference with your brother has 1.8 times more bananas than you, right? You understand what my point? Okay, so in my screen you see, if we divide 180 by 100, so we can say 1.8. Okay, so these can be written like 9 by 5 as well, 9 divided by 5, right? You can say 0 0 is okay, you cut 0 0 and 5, 9, yeah, 9 by 5. So 9 by 5 is the proportional difference, right? So if you give any temperature in Celsius, it will be 1.8 times more in you know in Fahrenheit scale. You understand? uh, and then 32 will be added with this, because 32 Fahrenheit scale is always 32 above. Okay, it starts from 32 and Celsius starts from 0. Okay, so whatever the uh, temperature you say, it will be 32, 32 number up above, right? Okay, so the same thing is like, if you say that 100 divided by 180, so this proportion is for Celsius and Fahrenheit. So in this case it's 0.555, right? So this relation will be with Fahrenheit to Celsius, guys, right? So, and from these you have to minimize 32. Okay, do you understand my point? Okay, you have to imagine, guys, you have to think before trying to solve this problem, right? So these 100 by 82 can be written as 5 by 9, you can say, reverse 5 by 9, you can say. Okay, so yeah, so if I just show you the screen here, you see the formulas, right? Celsius to Fahrenheit. So Celsius scale should be multiplied by 1.8 or 5 by 9 by 5. Yeah, so these will give you whatever the Celsius is. This Celsius will be multiplied, that means it will reach the Fahrenheit level, right? And then you need to add 32, because when Celsius was 0, Fahrenheit was 32, so it will always be 32 unit up, right, above. So when you want to convert Fahrenheit to Celsius, then Fahrenheit is from the Fahrenheit unit, you need to minimize 32, because if you subtract 32, it will come in the Celsius, because Celsius is always 32 unit less, right? And then you need to multiply by 0.555 or 5 by 9, then you will get the Celsius temperature, right? So these are the formulas, guys. Okay, so what is Kelvin? Okay, so what I described, that 0 degree or 32 degree Fahrenheit or 100 degree Celsius or 212 degree Fahrenheit, so these are not absolute thing, guys, because if you want to get an absolute thing, you need to stop the movement of molecules, right? Without stopping the movement, you can't say it's in the zero state. You understand? If you say I have no money, that means you have zero money, $0, or whatever you say. But So in our case we can't say movement, there is no movement, right? So if you want to make uh, zero movement, okay, molecular movement, so you have to go minus 273.15 degrees Celsius. Okay, so you know minus temperature, right? Minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. Yeah, so if you are from a winter based country like USA, Canada, or maybe some other countries, so you should understand what I mean. So if you go in minus 273.15 degrees Celsius, you will see there is no movement. It's I mean rigid uh, ice, right? There is no movement of the water molecule here. So this is the absolute temperature, and its Kelvin is considered from this temperature, right? So if like say 0 degrees Celsius, so you have to add 273.15 degree, uh, you have to add this number with 0 degrees Celsius if you want to know in 0 degrees Celsius how what the Kelvin. You understand? Okay. So whatever temperature you give in Celsius, you will have to add plus 273.15, right? So this is how you will get the Kelvin temperature. Let's say you are giving me 100, you are giving me like it, whatever you say is like 20 degrees Celsius. Okay. So if you add 273.15 5 with 20, then you will get whatever the Kelvin is, right? Okay. So how you will get Kelvin to Celsius now? Okay, so if you give me the Kelvin, like you just give me like you you say uh, 400 Kelvin. Okay, so you need to subtract 273.15. So if you subtract 270.15, then you will get the degree Celsius, right? So like if you say, if I show you like 400 Kelvin minus 273.15, so you say 126 degrees Celsius we get, right? That means water is boiling in this temperature, because we know that 100 degrees Celsius is the boiling temperature of water, right? Okay, so this is Kelvin to Celsius, guys. So if you want to convert Fahrenheit to Kelvin, then you need to convert Fahrenheit to Kelvin, you need to convert Fahrenheit to Celsius first, right? So we will have to subtract 32 from the Fahrenheit first, and then we will multiply by 5 by 9. Okay, so this is how we will get the Celsius temperature, and with the Celsius temperature we will add 273.15. So this is how you will get the Kelvin, right? So if you have any confusion, guys, uh, watch the video again and try to think, right? So without thinking, don't try to build any project or don't try to do anything, guys. And I know many, I when I was in college, this was included in maybe chemistry and physics chapter, so I didn't even realize or think that much, right? So now I'm trying to focus, really focus on these things, right? So try to focus, guys, try to understand, and uh, try to uh, think actually. Yeah. Okay, so here's the code, guys. We took it from ChatGPT. We'll try to explain and let's see if it's worked properly. Okay, enter your choice. We will try to find Celsius. Enter the temperature value to convert. So 1 degree Celsius is, okay, Celsius to Fahrenheit 33.80, and it should be 32 or something. Maybe there's some other tricks here, or I mean subtle consideration maybe. Let's see. And Celsius 2 points. Okay, so these are the absolute thing maybe, but let's see what actually it does in the code, right? So here we are getting the header file, and then all the functions is defined here. So you may say, why we need to define like this, and these functions are written in the below, right? So why we should do in this way? If you are dealing with a very large file, very large software, then defining this kind of thing will give you an, I mean, bird's eye view, right? Overview, that what are the things you're doing uh, in the upcoming, I mean, in the project, right? So this is why all the things are written in a single line, you see. So you can just check them, or you can just look at a glance, right? Okay, so here's the main, guys. We are giving a choice, integer choice, float, temperature. These are the just, uh, types of variable, and this temperature converter, this line, and printf chose the unit of temperature you want to convert, so this is the line. And printf Celsius, Fahrenheit, Kelvin, so we are giving the options, these options. And new line, okay, new line, because these backward slash n is making the new line, you understand, you know that, right? Now printf enter your choice 1 2 3, then whatever choice the user gives you, and then you're taking the input of choice, right? If choice is less than 1 or choice is greater than 3, that means if below this 1 or greater than 3, so you will say invalid choice, please run the program again and select 1 2 or 3, okay, and return 1. Okay, so this condition will be checked only if you give -1 or maybe 0 or maybe 4, this, yeah. Okay, so we don't need to think about this, people are not idiot. And printf enter the temperature below to convert, okay, enter the temperature value to convert, okay. So you have to put the temperature here, we are taking the input temperature, then switch statement, choice, case 1 Celsius to, if he choose Celsius to Kelvin, then if he wants to convert Celsius to Fahrenheit, then we will call this function, and we will pass the temperature. So same Fahrenheit to Celsius to Fahrenheit to Celsius and Kelvin, Fahrenheit to Celsius to Fahrenheit and Kelvin. So these things are just, created in the below, right? And by default we are giving a value invalid choice, right? So when all the case is finished, we will give a default value, right? And then return 0. Okay, so whatever the logic we discussed, in the beginning of the video, I just spent 16 or 17 minutes describing these guys, right? So you see, uh, void Celsius to Fahrenheit in Kelvin, right? So uh, Fahrenheit, Celsius to Fahrenheit, so Celsius into 9 by 5 or 1.8 plus 32 is stored in this Fahrenheit, right? Fahrenheit variable. Okay, so this is a local variable here. Float Kelvin is Celsius plus this, we already know this, right? And printf Celsius to Fahrenheit is, this is printing, this is being printed, this is being printed just. And Fahrenheit to Celsius and Kelvin, so when you want to uh, make Fahrenheit to Celsius, then we have to subtract 32 first, okay, this is the difference. So we're just making it subtracting this, and then we are multiplying by 0.555, that means 5 by 9, right? And Kelvin is Celsius plus this. Okay, so okay, and when you do this void Kelvin to Celsius in Fahrenheit, so float Kelvin, so these are the things we are just passing as an argument, right? These are the parameters, Kelvin, Fahrenheit and Celsius, these are the parameters, and we are just we will just pass the temperature as argument, right? So Kelvin to Celsius in Fahrenheit. Okay, so Celsius is Kelvin minus, as we've discussed, right? Fahrenheit equals to Celsius into these and uh, 32, right? So these are the things, guys, uh, whatever we discussed in this beginning of the video, and uh, now we are printing this. Okay, so uh, we need to revise these things, guys. We need to make the project on our own. We'll have to code this again and again, right? Otherwise your brain will just forget the things. So making this kind of project will really help you uh, understand the programming, right? So we'll do this again and again, again and again, so that we just have a good grasp on it, right? So thank you for watching, guys. uh, if this video really helped you, share this with your friends. And I don't present within a lot of graphic thing or AI voice. I just teach uh, in my raw style, right? I try to tell you story. I try to tell you, uh, I try to engage you, right? Giving example or telling story. So thank you for watching, guys. Please subscribe if you like my videos, and have a good day, guys. Thank you.